I think we're live. We are live, fam bam. Penguin. Hi, Penguin. How come it says nobody's in here, but then someone chatted?
Honors just eating his chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, man. How come it says nobody's in here with us? Well, you got both the cams on?
Yeah, you got a cam from up top. You got a cam from the side. What's going on, guys? How are you guys? You guys hear me? Everybody, we gotta get this popping. We're gonna everybody share the stream. Everybody go like, damn. So there's 22 people in here already. Fuck. I like that, y'all. What's going on? We got a lot.
Tweet it out.
I haven't even tweeted this shit out yet, son. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot to talk about. We're gonna talk about everything that's happening in the world today. Yeah. MySpace. Yeah, we got a group interview tomorrow, so I hope you guys are ready. Sit down. Be humble. Alright, man. Tomorrow's interview. Everybody like this? How come there's only 4 likes and there's 22? Yeah, that's cold, man.
Should we do a phone call at 50?
Should we? Yeah, we'll do that. Once we hit 50 likes, I will call somebody in the.
Ooh.
Were you there in the last time we did that?
No.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. There's some cool stuff. So when we get 50 likes, I'll do a phone call. I'll call somebody in the stream, and we'll talk for a little bit.
Every 10 likes,
You need some good tickers. Winston, man, have you applied? How come you gonna ask me for tickers and you ain't even send an application? That's just cold, fam. What's up, Mauricio? All right, let me throw this on Instagram. So yeah, give me a second, guys. We're gonna talk about a lot of this stuff. We were gonna be getting a more active stream schedule. I just got sick, so I'm back now. My voice is still a little bad. Winston, you did? Then are you coming to the group interview? The fuck, fam? But yeah, so let me put this shit out. Give me 1 second. Everybody, if you can, like the video right now and share it, because I spend this first 10 minutes. We got to inform everybody. A lot of people don't know we're always on. So, sit down.
Yo, do you want my tripod?
Be humble. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Yes, I did. All right, man. We go. Let's go, man. We got a lot to talk about. But it's honestly something, if you guys have seen the Syria thing and what's going on with just how it relates to the stock market and all that, it's going to have some big effects.
Big effects?
Well, not big effects, and even then, I think remember we were talking about it last night. I think people just need to understand what it really means. Simple as that. What's going on Instagram? I'm on a live stream here with YouTube, so. What the fuck is that noise? Yo, how come I can't fucking pin my comment? It's probably Sasha. She likes it. All right, so sit down. Be humble. Did this thing get smaller or something? There it is.
Oh, it's that.
Yeah. So, there's the stream for all y'all. Everybody come in here. Yeah, so we're going to talk about this missile attack. So I messaged you yesterday about a video on this. Yes, sir. Sent you the email on flooring prices and shit. All right, man. Good. You know, a lot of stuff. You know, I've been trying to get back to more emails. The thing is, you know, we got we have the group interviews coming up, and then even the stuff with like the whole Syrian. You know, really hope you guys get it. So, you know, we'll start with this. Until then, I'll keep watching the Trading Train. My man Mauricio. So like I said, you guys get this to 50 likes. I'll do a phone call with some of you guys. But now let's talk about the Syrian thing. You know, I think there's a lot of miscommunication. I just want, how many of you guys know what the issue is with Syria? You know, who could explain what's going on with Syria? Because, you know, in my opinion, most people have no idea what the fuck is going on with it. It's kind of just Syria, brown people, terrorism. That's about it. Yeah, quite frankly. So let's see. So someone on the Instagram said civil war. What is the civil war over? You know, it's kind of ironic. You know, when you think about it, half backed by U.S., half backed by Russia. Assad is responsible for chemical attacks. See, so that's what people say, and you know that's kind of where, you know, I will say this too. I have been more reserved talking about this. I don't want to offend anybody. You know, as much as I love offending you guys. But in all honesty, this is such a delicate situation because I will say this. Do I support Assad? No. Do I support anybody else? To the contrary, no. I don't support anyone really. I have a political science degree. You know, my thing is this. It's just about understanding what it is. You know, simple as that. You know, I'm here to break down the educational aspect of it. So when my view is I don't have a view. You know, stand for nothing, fall for everything. But in this context, you know, it's simply about being educated in this matter. And, you know, again, and how you could use that to relate it to the stock market. So that's the thing, and that's where I'll start with it. Now, people are saying Assad is, you know, this is pretty much, to give a summary, Assad, governments around the world, mainly the U.S., started it. They're saying Assad attacked its innocent civilians with chemical weapons. And, you know, it's so funny because that's not funny. It's obviously sad. But what is the humorous part is that, you know, you could go kill people with any weapon. The minute you use a chemical weapon, oh no, now we can't do it. But, you know, innocent civilians die all the time in these countries, and it's devastating. But that's the thing is, we've been kind of going back and forth with Syria for a while now, and here's the issue: is that it's kind of like a 3 or 4 pronged approach, in the sense that, you know, as I explained it to Brendan and Amrish yesterday, it's like, imagine you guys have a friend, right? It's like, so Amrish, we'll use Amrish, the fucking foreign guy, right? How perfect is that? Say, Amrish, wave to the camera, speak another language to him. Just fucking look at him, say hi to him. Say hello, stream. I'm from another country.
Hello, I'm from
Nah.
India.
But so it's like, okay, so Amrish is Syria, okay? Brendan, because he's white, he's Russia. And, you know, since I'm a badass, I'll be the United States. No, kidding. But it's just like, really, we're friends, kind of. But I'm like, hey, I'm friends with Brendan, and Brendan is his friends with Amrish, but I don't like Amrish. So I'm telling Brendan, yo, Brendan, man, we really got to get rid of this guy fucking eating chicken in the middle of the stream right now. I can't have that. I'm just not a fan of him. Brendan's been like, no, he's a good guy. He does all my tech support. You know, this guy's like, he's just on top of it. So he's like, no, there's no point of it. Because now here's the thing. I say I have a problem with the chicken he's eating. And Brendan's saying, well, I actually have a problem with the chicken as well. But if we get rid of Amrish, that chicken is going to stay there. You guys see where I'm getting at with this? That's exactly what it is. So Brendan's saying, I want the chicken gone just as much as you do, but we're not going to get rid of the chicken by just getting rid of Amrish. Do you guys see the chicken? Raise your chicken on your desk so that they could see the visual. Okay? So it's, you put, this is the context now. So now we're battling over the chicken. And what is the chicken? It is ISIS. It is the threat of terrorism. It is essentially the Muslim Brotherhood. Is it Islam itself? No, because Syria is an Islamic country. However, if you guys are familiar with Islam, or if you know anything about it, there's many different sects. You know, no. See, someone said chicken equals chemical weapons. Not at all. You know, nobody's like, hey, we want to get rid of chemical weapons. It's the spread of something.
I don't think that's what he meant.
What?
I think he means chemicals in the chicken.
Oh my God, get the fuck out of here. This guy's been hating on all of our...
I'm being serious.
No.
I'm being serious.
Anyways.
Free range, motherfucker.
Free range, bitch. Free range. But it's the whole idea here of... It's you know, there's different factions of Islam. So some Islam, you know, most Islam is great. But then when you say stuff like the Muslim Brotherhood, these are the guys who are literally ISIS, terrorists. These guys are trying to produce, you know, radicalism in that sense. Is every Muslim person like that? Fuck no. They, you know, don't be that ignorant. But in these countries, you have those presence. So really, the issue is, okay, we want to stop that. So now, with that kind of context in general, spot gold will go up over 61%. I don't know. But I don't know, that came up weirdly. But again, while you guys are here, make sure you guys like the video. So I want to get on a phone call with somebody. So get this to 50 likes already. Okay? Yeah, someone thumb this down. Are you fucking kidding me? You hate... That's somebody who supports chemical weapons right there. You know? That's just a dickhead right there. But... Yeah, what the fuck? I got logged out of the TTF. While I'm streaming? Come on, fam. Yo, fam. Hold on, guys. It happens a lot. Sit down. Be humble. That was so weird. It knocked me off that stream, but I guess we'll just... I don't want to go back on Instagram. Kills my phone. Shut the fuck up, Instagram. But anyway, so there we are with that. You know, you guys are kind of understanding a little bit about the situation between Russia, Syria, and the United States. Everybody wants a common problem to get rid of. They want to get rid of fucking terrorism. So the issue is now, do we get rid of Assad, the Syrian president, or do we go in there and keep Assad and do it? And now that's the dilemma here, because it's very hard for, you know, if you look at both sides of the spectrum, again, like I say, I don't hold a view, but it's hard for some people to believe that Assad would be doing something like supporting... Assad hates ISIS. He hates it with a passion, because those are the ones trying to overthrow him. So when they talk about a civil war going on in Syria, what's happening is you have some people who support the more radical changes, and then you have some people like Assad. So now tell me this. Imagine if I told you guys, you know, there's a country out there. If the country wanted, you know, freedom of speech, democracy, it wanted it where women had equal rights as men, where there wasn't a caste system, you know, all of that, right? Do you guys support that? What does that seem like something the United States would support? Anybody? Nope. I forgot how much of a delay this is.
Yeah.
10 seconds or something?
Sit down. Be humble. Let's see. Yeah, I'm waiting for you guys to answer. No one's answering? What happened, y'all? Okay, maybe I'm just gonna go on the Instagram then. Y'all killing me out here. Sit down. Be humble. Yes? What are we answering? I'm saying, talking in relation to if there was a country, you know, if a country wanted free elections, freedom of speech, equal rights for women, was progressive, where people could listen to whatever they want to listen to, watch whatever they want to watch on TV, would that be something that the United States would support? Would that be something you guys support as Americans, honestly? That is the question. Sup, blood? I'm not a blood. Brendan, why did he call me a blood?
Subu.
Does that mean I'm a blood? Yes, I'd support. There you go. Now you guys are talking. That's what I like to see. As an American, it seems the country supports most every other country's decisions. Well, yeah, except for communism, Yes, it should be fought for. Okay, well, see, so this is the paradox now. So now that you guys can see it, because that is what the Syrian president Assad is fighting for. He is fighting for quote unquote secularism, or really to become more modern in that respect. Like if it's funny, I explained all of this yesterday to Amrish and Brendan at like 2 a.m. Just because it's something where it's very confusing. It's kind of like relating it to options. It's like selling a put. It's like if you sold a put, the simple fact that it's a put, people think, oh, that means the stock is going to go down. But if you're selling a put, you actually think it's going to go up. So the issue here is someone said, fuck you. Hey, Jacob, I love you too. Okay? The people in America would support it, but not the government. Well, exactly. But so essentially what you have going on is you have people, it's like countries like Turkey, in Istanbul. If you guys know about, isn't Belize? Where's Belize? That's Europe, right? Or no?
Never heard of it.
Belize? That's
Belarus?
is it Belarus? Is that in Turkey? I forgot. Well, Istanbul in general. If you guys go look at Istanbul, man, the women out there, they wear bikinis. The guys out there, they smoke, they drink, they have clubs. Yeah, Belize. I'm tripping. But even then, places like Turkey and all these other places, those are Muslim countries. However, they're very westernized. They're very modern in the sense that they do the same things that we do. But that's what we call secularism, because there's two types of, you guys have realized most countries in the world are actually Muslim, believe it or not. Or there's a lot of Muslim countries. So literally what you have here now is Assad wants secularism. Assad wants his country to become like Turkey, a Muslim country under a Muslim government. However, that's not operating under Sharia law. So then when you go and look at what's going on with this quote unquote civil war, what you have happening now is you have these traditional people who are fighting for, they really want a traditional Sharia law government and livelihood in Syria. And then the Assad regime, the president, he wants it to be secular. And then boom, these guys start fighting. That's where the clash is. Now we have a quote unquote civil war. So that's why it's so interesting to think about, because, you have Assad, which the United States is going after. He's fighting for kind of, really a westernized democracy, whereas the people fighting Assad want essentially a Muslim country that is based upon really very, very strict standards that are anti-Western culture. So that's why it's kind of paradoxical, and that's why it's so confusing. But now, this is where you guys go into putting everything into perspective. You guys have to understand what side is doing what now, because and who's fighting for what, because it's a very tricky situation. Because now you're saying, why would Assad be fighting? Why would he be killing his own people with chemical weapons? Why wouldn't that be ISIS, which is characteristic of the terrorist and Muslim, fundamentalist groups? And then vice versa, we have to ask ourselves, on the other hand, why is the United States not supporting, a pro-Western democracy, whereas we're actually supporting it? And who are we supporting? This is where you get down that funnel of all types of stuff where people are just saying, hey, you got where you have people jumping down this funnel of now, okay, who's supporting what, why, if now if the U.S. isn't supporting pro-Western, Assad, what are they supporting? They're literally giving guns to terrorists. That's what people are saying. And then on the other hand, now why the United States isn't really too big of a fan of Assad now, and why most of the world, and most of you guys, if I said now, again, think about what we've said so far. There's a guy in, pro-Western. He wants his Muslim country to be secular. However, he's been in charge. He's been the fucking president for 35 years now. Now, how do you feel about that? This is where it gets better. So how do you guys feel now about somebody who wants to be like America, but he's been in charge for 35 fucking years? What do you guys think about that? FDR. Why is that? Not cool. I support the view. Well, that's the thing, whether you support it, you got to think about how other people are going to look at this, Some of you support what he's doing, or you can support it, but now, how the fuck are you going to have a democracy with somebody in charge for 35 years? What do you call that? If someone's in power for 35 years, and then before that 35 years, his father was in power, it's been the same fucking family ruling. Just like Mauricio said, not possible 35 years equals no fucking chance for a democracy. This is exactly where things get weird. They've been wanting to take down Assad. Exactly. They've been wanting to take down Assad forever, but now there's so many branches off of why they want to get rid of Assad. Syria doesn't have a central bank. Well, they do. They have their own, but it's the only one not linked to the World Bank. What else was Syria? They are huge on oil. They control a distinctive plot of land in between everything. It's because Assad is Sunni, is a Sunni Muslim. Well, and that's the thing. He's fighting against Shia Muslims. So if he doesn't support that, now you also got to think the U.S., we support Saudi Arabia. Those are actually one of our best partners. So I'm pretty sure Saudis are Shia. So you are getting, pretty much clashing on every single faction. Not one war has been just for our people. It's always been a power kick to show we're strong. Hey man, dude, please make a TeamSpeak channel. What's a TeamSpeak channel? Someone said, isn't that a dictatorship? Doesn't that affect the market? Exactly. And that's the thing now. So that's what, we could start talking about that now. I'll say, does anybody have any questions so far? Does everybody get the situation? We could dive into this for hours as far as what it goes, but you guys got to understand, I guess, some of the basis to start seeing how this is going to, have some effects. And two, while you guys are answering that, do this, everybody. Like the stream right now. If you guys want to participate in the giveaway too, you could go in the bio below. But everyone like it. I'm going to call somebody at 50 likes, so we'll have some fun. But any questions so far? I really appreciate the events. I'm surprised you don't know. I go on Whale Pools TeamSpeak. The owner of Bitfinex. I don't trade fucking Forex. Dude, I have a way to give you 2 times profit. Message me to invest and receive tangible profit. Hey, Prodigy, you better get out of here with that nonsense or I'm going to fuck your life up, okay? On a good sign, how do I make good trades? That's the question you have. All right, I'll tell you how to make good trades if you could tell me who is Bashar Assad. I'll give you... Yeah, you could Google that. Just explain what I just said in the last... Summarize what I just said, and I'll answer your trading question. Okay, and I'm telling you, you guys... And this is the funniest part about trading, is do you see how we're talking about this? We're talking about something going on with the world, and you're going to have a whole group of people just like, get to the trade. What do I make on the trade? But this is part of trading. If you could understand this situation and understand the many levels to how it relates, opportunity is in it.
They don't want to understand.
Oh my God, he said sounds like a Pokemon.
What?
Jesus Christ, man. See, this is the remember we were saying I was like this is such a shitty topic to talk about because people are so dumb. People do not even give a fuck about what's going on in these other countries, man. You got literally kids dying from fucking nerve gas. You have people, literally over 50% of the country has had to flee because of the situation. You know, they're getting bombed by multiple. That's just get in tune, man. Fix up, fam. You know, and you about to get fucking wrecked, fam. That's crazy, but. So, how is Assad able to stay in power so long? He has a lot of money, and his family has been in power, and that's the thing. A lot of people support him. That's where, that's actually a great fucking question. Great question. Because you have to, just based on the situation, think about it. You have some people who want to go towards a more progressive, modernized Western society, and those are the pro-Assad supporters. And then you have the people in a Middle Eastern Muslim country who want to go to Sharia law, essentially. So do you see why he's been able to stay in power so long? Not only has it been because he has money and power and influence, but simply the fact that there's other people who want that in that country. These guys are not everybody are like, oh yeah, we want to all be under Sharia law. People don't want that. People don't want it where, they want trial by jury. They want it where if you steal something, you don't get your arm cut off or as a consequence. If you cheat on your wife or your wife cheats on her, you kill her. They want something more progressive. So that's why he has been able to stay in power so long. That's a great question. What other questions? Did they shoot missiles to that airfield? Yes, they already did. Someone said, yeah. In 2005, the former prime minister was assassinated. The Christian Science Monitor reported that Syria was widely blamed for Harris's murder. Sounds good to me. Hariri? What other questions? So, will this war... the problem nowadays is so many people have been scammed that everyone assumes they're getting scammed. Okay, Prodigy, man. Get the fuck out of my live stream. Fucking dumbass. Anyways... Why would Assad use chemical weapons on civilians? Trump already said U.S. don't have to pull down Assad, and this happened. See, that's the thing, in my belief. I don't think he used chemical weapons because you have to ask yourself, somebody who is fighting, it's just like if you look at their profile, Assad using chemical weapons on his people makes zero sense. Could he be using them? Could he have used chemical weapons to fight against people who are trying to go against him? Yes, of course. Could he have used chemical weapons on ISIS? Yes, that's a possibility. But to say he used them indiscriminately on civilians, it doesn't add up. It really doesn't. And that's even what relates now to what happened prior. The last time when Obama, drew this line in the sand, this red line, because remember, Obama already made this plan for the airstrike. When this was occurring, there was already an issue, there was already an issue of us thinking that they were going to, that they already used chemical weapons. So what happened, we sent a UN investigator, and when the UN investigator went to investigate the chemical weapons, the UN truck got sniped at, and they weren't able to do it. But then eventually they completed the investigation, and they determined there was no use of chemical weapons by the Assad regime. So I really think it just doesn't add up. Trying to put pressure on Trump, I could see that. Would Assad be using them to attack his haters, non-supporters? I think that's possible. You see, that's where it goes. That's where I'll tell you my views. I don't really stand anywhere on this. I'm just looking at what's possible, what's not, and what fits somebody's character. It's like, you take a room full of fucking celebrities. You got Michael Jackson and I don't know, somebody else, and they're saying which one of them. A child was molested, which one does that fall under? You're going to say, well, that's probably in Michael Jackson's character. Not here. Assad, it's just not in his character. However, being brutal, is he above using chemical weapons on his enemies? That might not be above his character. It's hard to say. However, at the same time, I don't know if he would be that dumb enough to use a chemical weapon that is banned by the whole fucking world. If because look at the responses essentially. it just wouldn't be worth it. Do you believe they were really chlorine bombs which slowly affect your lungs? Yeah, dude, I wouldn't doubt it, man. If you see some of these videos, it's disgusting. R.I.P. the GOAT. Don't believe it. I've read a little bit. Assad did not use chemical weapons. It was a false flag, and Trump's dumbass shot missiles to prove what? This can start a war with Russia. It could. It won't start a war with Russia. It could potentially, create problems. But you also got to think, Trump. My perspective, Trump did this to be a man of his word. Trump does not want to look weak. That's the sad part, is that this is a political play. Surprisingly, we only heard 6 people die. Thank God. It's not as much. Think about that. You got 60 missiles. 6 people died. So it took 10 missiles per one person.
14 died.
14.
14 and civilians.
Damn. That sucks. Then that really does suck. But at the same time, it's, what was I saying? Oh, I think Trump, it's sad that he had to kill that many people to kind of prove a point, but that's kind of where it gets along the lines of, I definitely think Trump just wanted to show he was, he's take shots at Obama, calling Obama weak, saying this and that. So I do think that it was more along the lines of Trump wanting to, assert power and to assert credibility on his side. I think Trump doesn't want to get involved in this anymore, but someone in the U.S. doesn't agree. That's true, because you even look at Trump. Trump is trying to get a good relationship with Russia, but everything, it's going back and forth. Gas their own people, and we're going to airstrike them for gassing their own country. Why? Yeah, that's kind of weird. One Tomahawk costs $2 million USD. Shit. Looking good, Amrish. Please, his supporters. What's expected from Russia? I think Russia, they're not as brash. They're not going to react yet. The response that did come from Russia, which is dangerous. What was it? I think they removed the mid-air collision. It was like pretty much, but it was an agreement that they had that they were able to pretty much. They said, okay, because you have Syrian troops, Russian troops, and American troops all in Syria. Russia and the United States came to an agreement to, coordinate with their planes and say, hey, we'll make sure that no mid-air collisions happen or anything like that. They took that off the table, actually. So that's kind of crazy. Yeah, Raytheon makes those missiles too. So that's actually something to take in and note, as far as stocks. Those are $2 million a missile. But, again, and you guys noticed, as far as it relates to the markets, did you guys notice what went up? Yeah, at that moment, when this started happening, one commodity just started ripping through the roof. Does anybody know what it was? I'm sure the attack was within the military budget. Yeah, I'm sure it was too. It wasn't gold, Conway. Good guess. Oil. It was oil, my friends. Oh, look at everyone says gold, oil. Did you give away the 10K yet? No, we're giving away the 10K when we hit 11,000 subscribers. If you go to the link in the bio, or the link not in the bio, in the description of this video, there's the information on joining the giveaway. So also too, so make sure you guys like this video. At 50 likes on the video, I'm gonna call somebody on the stream and we'll have a live chat with them. So everybody, give the video a thumbs up right now. I want to see at least 5 of them happen. And share the video too on your stream. Really the reason why I wanted to talk about this today was simply because a lot of people are fucking oblivious to this, and I think people really need to understand this. Just for the simple fact that this is serious. It has some pretty big effects. Russia said if we attack Syria again, we will have to go through them. That would be interesting, and that's something I could expect through Russia. They will totally play us in that to make sure that a big card is. So, but yeah, the asset that went up was oil. Gold went up, but it was not directly related to Syria. But yeah, Syria has oil, but that's the thing. After the civil war, after all these issues started happening, it was around 2012-13 when we started fighting with them and doing that. What started going on was one of the smallest people I've seen. What? But the thing with their gold that crushed their economy. They have a shit ton of oil, but now they just it's impossible to transport now. So it just with everything going on, so that's been what's killing them. But oil went up because again, anytime there's any crises, so despite oil, that's why I think it's funny that oil went up because people are traders are so naive. They see oil go up or they see any crisis in the Middle East, people. What the fuck was that?
Stop, man.
Oh man, you the fuck? Why are you scaring me like that? I thought there was an earthquake. That's funny. But yeah, so let me do this. I need to Oh, well thank you, Hamoud. Why did oil go up? Oil, people just bought it because they were expecting it to go up because of crisis in a Middle Eastern country. Really after 2012, 2013, Syria's really they export only less than a couple $1 billion. I think it's sad. You guys should go look at their export numbers of what they've done with oil. It's just crazy to see how that has changed. But so again, and hopefully you guys are kind of getting a little idea into this now, how everything is kind of interconnected with, again, this all affects the market. Simple as that. All of this comes back. It comes full circle to affecting the market. Even, livelihood, so I've heard, we could talk about the implications of the responses, but what I'm saying is that you guys just really got to understand the situation because this Syria issue has been drawing on for years now, 5 years almost. It's kind of crazy to think about. It's happened under our nose, and really a lot of people haven't really responded too much to it simply because the fact that, it's kind of been happening, just in the sense that we've seen this so much. This is what I said was interesting. You guys remember, what was it? When Obama, after the first time they used chemical weapons, Obama was saying they were going to use it. The markets panicked. Gold went up. People were freaking the fuck out. The fascinating thing about what happened yesterday, we heard chemical attacks, and within 24 hours, we struck them. There wasn't even a fucking debate, and the stock market's up today. That's insane, if you really think about it. For how much we used to stress over this, it's kind of crazy. We see it so much now; we're just used to it. It's in a way we see it so much when we're used to it. But this is the warning I'm giving you guys: is you guys are going to see this so much. People kind of brush this off without fully understanding the situation. That is where you guys need to start, pushing towards. Try to understand this as much as possible, because if you're really oblivious to this, one, you might start, you could sound dumb supporting some shit that may be, think about it. You could be supporting anti-democracy, anti-Western culture. There's so many different things. But then at the same time is understanding how opportunity is embedded within this. Simple as that. Someone said creates opportunity, injects volatility in the market. It's a bittersweet feeling. I agree. I really agree. How much did you make off of Brexit? I made 30 racks off of Brexit. So that was fun. Look at Africa. All right, let me do this. Trump is no joke. Obama never executed. All right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. So ask some questions. So everybody, I'm gonna take a piss real quick. So everybody, put here in the chat. Give me your questions, and let's do this. Give me some questions, and everybody like the video. We're almost at 50 thumbs up. At 50 thumbs up, I'm gonna start calling people. So let's go. Right now, everybody go log into another account, something. I don't know what the fuck y'all do, but but at the very least, give me some questions. Let me know. Someone said apples, man. The market's interesting. Oh, Raytheon, of course, is up here. Raytheon it's up today, but it gapped down in the morning. But let me get some of your guys' questions in here. I want to be able to answer what you guys got. So.
Look at Apple bouncing. That was not.
How do you get on that live stream? The live stream is it's the link below. Go to youtube.com/thetradingfury/live. Okay, give me some questions. I need to go pee.
This fucking guy's weirdo.
That hurts my feelings.
It shouldn't. This fucking guy. I see it on the chat now. Jax just fucking stares at him like, what? Maggie. Little bitch. Oh man. I'm not sure if he's muted or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think I better just not talk. Oh shit. He said to put subtitles on his videos, right?
Oh yeah.
Fuck, that's gonna take so long. I
I
feel
can
like,
help you with that.
I was trying to think, should I do After Effects or
I don't know. I've never done subtitles.
because I would have to put each frame, not frame, each frame, but like title go across the project. You know what I mean? Like,
Let's look up best way to do subtitles.
yeah. Let's see. Saw, dude.
Oh, dude. Gang, gang. All right. What's going on, fam? How many millionaire students do I have? I don't have any millionaire students that I've made millionaires, but I have multiple millionaire students. Does that make sense?
In the making.
No, we have. There's
Conway's a millionaire.
yeah. There's multiple, and who else? I have one more. I'm blanking. I don't. I think David's borderline.
Yeah.
David Madeira.
Yeah. He owns like 3 practices. Yeah. Yeah, so I have not made any millionaire students. I've made multiple 6-figure students. I think that's the more consistent one. But as far as millionaires, I think I teach the most millionaires. I think that's a pretty cool accomplishment. How do you suggest a college student learn how to trade? Paper trade, man. That's it. World News was very good to hear. Thank you, MeDB. Yeah, make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't. I feel like I haven't seen you before, MeDB. So good to see you on here, man. Glad to see you guys on here. If you guys like it, give it a thumbs up and a like. I want to call somebody. Can we just get this to 50 already?
Share it to your friends.
Yeah, share this shit, man. The fuck?
38 likes right now.
Josh, what do you think has been largest single one event that's impacted the markets?
Yeah. This is still in Citizen.
Probably China. What?
Put the link in the Citizens chat.
For the YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, do people not see it?
I mean, yeah, the tweet went out, but I'm not too sure if they. Here, I'll put it in there. Spam it. Spam it.
Mm-hmm. Jose, what do I expect to happen to Bitcoin? Opinion on AMD. I think Bitcoin will continue to go up, but it's still pretty high. What do you think of the Trump and Xi meet? I think it's good. It's constructive. I hope, but also in the sense I'm kind of worried, especially with what's going on with this whole issue now, because China and Russia are still related. So there's just so many things. What's the name of this software? First timer. This software is called eTrade Pro. And then someone said 2 reasons why you don't Forex, wondering if I should stop learning it. I have a bunch of videos on it, man. Like I have like one hour long, but quite simply, it's too small. People say there's $4 trillion traded every day. That's true. However, less than 1% of that is retail traders that you're actually trading with to get money. Whereas you look at the stock market, Facebook probably has like $4 billion traded today, but then at the same exact time, the rest of that $4 trillion every day that's occurring, that's just foreign countries and banks settling current account balances. That's it. So that's one reason. And then 2, there's little regulation and so many scams that it's just, with that lack of regulation, that small of a market, you're just very unlikely to come out with money. What's the biggest downfall to having bulk gold bullion? Moving it, by far. Transportation, and the biggest fact that it can lose value. Counterfeiting it, someone could steal it from you. You could lose it. But then also too, I would say the fact that potential gains on it. That's simply it. But that's not really too big of a risk, especially since gold's more of a protectionary. Nothing like having your own money online. I want to trade options as a day trader or swing. Any advice? Also, what platform? I use eTrade Pro because it's simple, but I also think that Thinkorswim is very, very powerful. And I would go with swing trading if I were you. You know, you'll just get chewed up and spit out trying to day trade, and you'll turn into a degenerate gambler. And you'll wonder why none of your dreams ever come true. Seriously, is that not true? You're like, wow. You're like, what the fuck? You're gonna look back every year and be like, how come I still have the same amount of money, if not less? Futures, kind of the same logic as Forex, but it's a lot better. I prefer futures over any of them, I would say. I'm not a fan of now trading leveraged assets where you don't really own the asset, you know? So basically, little return, not worth the time unless you're a big fucking bank. Exactly, and, you know, not only little return, not worth the time, but there's a lot of risk. You know, simple as that. Good or bad to have it? I have some, you know, gold, and I keep, you know, physical. I think it's good to have gold, but don't have too much, if that makes sense. Just like anything, you just got to diversify properly. Can you answer that one dumbass question? How did you become a millionaire? Working hard. There you go. Real talk. Thanks for the advice. Of course, man. I appreciate that, man. I'm glad you guys are learning. I'm glad you're into Forex and you actually have an open mind and you're asking that question. So that's a good sign for you, man. Who here hasn't subscribed yet? Is everyone subscribed? I want to make sure, if you guys haven't, make sure you guys subscribe. And like I said, give me video ideas, you know, in the sense of if you guys have these questions and want me to make like an in-depth video, you want me to make a tutorial on something, all you got to do is holla at your boy. Hit me up with that and we'll make a video, make tutorials, all that stuff. Are emotions one of the most important aspects of trading? And if they are, why do you suggest paper trading? It doesn't really include that emotion aspect of trading. Yeah, emotions are great. You know, they're the big part. So it's that saying, it's like practicing driving. If you drive for the first time, you're going to have a lot of emotions. So does that mean, well, you need to practice for real? So with zero driving experience, go on the freeway without ever driving a car before so you could experience it for real. You know, you wouldn't do that simply because the risk, the danger. You wouldn't want to hurt yourself or other people. That's the same thing with trading. You got to experience it with the lack of emotions in a safe, controlled environment. You pretty much got to get your permit, and then you got to go through some sort of class or training where people could control and monitor you. You know, they have an extra steering wheel or brake so that you'll get fucked. A tutorial on Forex. I have made one. I have an hour-long video. If you guys go scroll through my videos, it's called Why I Love Forex and Penny Stocks. Go read into it. Go watch it. But I can make another one on Forex because there's so much to go. It's so funny because, again, I don't trade Forex, but I know so much about it, you know, simply because I use Forex to profit off the market. Simple as that. Seems scamish, as you mentioned. Actually not, but think about learning it. What would you advise someone who wants to become a millionaire? Don't underestimate what you could do in 10 years, and don't overestimate what you could do in 1 year. Be realistic. I feel like paper trading is a double-edged sword. Not at all. What do you think about e-commerce for dropshipping? I think it's great. You know, you just got to be able to find a good way to market, and if you got the marketing down, it'll be solid. Forex is bad, okay, but no, paper trading is not a double-edged sword. To practice with fake money, that's like saying going to the gym is a double-edged sword. Practicing shooting a basketball if you want to become the best basketball player is a double-edged sword, you know? Josh, should I resend my application even though I've sent it before? Yes. Resend in the one that you filled out, but if you're trying to go to the group interview for tomorrow, email me now. And Junior, I remember you, man. I remember you, just send me an email if you're trying to get into this next plus class. I remember you. I'm not going to make you go through that that whole process. And I think we'll see if any of the other brothers remember you, but they should. You were a citizen for a while. But I'll let you know. What do you think about Forex or currencies? I think they could tell you a lot of information about the markets. They could tell you a lot of information about what's going on. But to trade Forex to make money, it's kind of foolish, just in the sense you can make money elsewhere. Would you say getting a degree is worth getting? Yes and no. It all depends on your situation. It all depends on your life and what you're doing. Are degrees powerful? Yeah. Is there great networking opportunities? Yeah. Can you become a millionaire and make a lot of money without having a degree? Yeah. So it all really depends on your situation, but don't look for ways to get out of it. Someone said Forex is Ebola. That's so funny. So we got a bunch of people just joined, so you guys got to do this now. Everybody, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, but I want you guys simply to give a thumbs up on this video, because once we get to 50 likes, I'm going to call some people. I'll do phone calls live on here and answer some of your guys' questions. So if you guys are up for that, holler at your Guala. That stuff could go up in you, and then he's actually trading, can fuck him over. Someone said about the guy who said paper trading is a double-edged sword. Death in Stockholm? Is that what you were watching?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
You know?
No, there's a terrorist attack in Stockholm now. Great. Damn. But what the fuck, man? That's crazy. But now think about that. Why do you think that happened? Put it into perspective. Why was there a terrorist attack today? A truck attack. Last time there was a truck attack in Europe, it was very deadly. Think about it. The bombings. We just shot over missiles. They're going to retaliate in some sort of way. And who's they? These radical groups. It's simple as that. You don't feel like paper trading gives you a false illusion on trading because you start off with such a low. Yeah, I didn't know you could do that. Yeah. That's exactly what we recommend, Wayne. You start with the lower amount. You'll be straight. Use something good. And now they say, someone said that when he means that stuff could go up when using fake money, and then when he's actually trading, it could fuck him over. It could. And that's the whole idea, is to paper trade until you have everything fully set. You know what I'm saying? Don't start trading with your own money until you've practice to say, hey, I know what I'm doing, and you could actually prove it by not losing fake money. Must account for risk in any capital market. FX and only disadvantage Forex is no level 2, but you could compensate. Listen, motive Forex, you're completely wrong. What do you mean? You must account for in any there is risk in every capital market, but most capital markets literally have regulations. If you trade Forex, tell me how large the retail trading market is. Can you tell me that? Motive. Tell me how many dollars is traded on the retail market of Forex. And then 2, here's the bonus question. Tell me, is the United States dollar, are we on a fixed or a floated exchange? Actually, what is the difference between a fixed and a floated exchange? And what is a managed float? Please humor me. At what point can you say you were able to control your trading emotions? It was the part where I was able to make money and I wouldn't get a boner. I think that's really where it came at, to be honest. Opinion on AXGN long term? I don't know. I've never looked at the stock. Thanks, Shots Trading. Free keys. You guys have the group interviews tomorrow. God bless. Gotta work. All right, man. Be fun, dexterous. I'll see you soon. See you later. Look at it. After I call out the Forex guy, we get another dislike. You guys see that, man? Look at that. Haters everywhere, man. Hater. Hey, man, can you please check your Instagram DM? Yeah, I can't do it right now, though. Right, and floated is not. By knowing the knowledge you know now, if you could go back in time, what would you do differently to acquire faster results? Knowing what I know now, I wouldn't have gone after stupid stuff trying to get quick money. That's it. Anytime that's ever hurt, that's the only thing that's ever hurted me, is going and falling for dumb stuff, trying to get it quickly, because I knew the right way. It just took me a while to believe it, Very simple. Do you have any position right now or during the Trump scene? Yeah, I have a couple positions, Even then, if anything, I don't try. I like to, I'm here for opportunity. With some of these events, if there's it's like a coin flip, what's going to happen, is Xi going to do this? Are people going to like this? Yada, yada, yada. I'm not going to really take that risk. What I'm going to look for is stuff that's kind of isolated. So I'm actually looking at pharmaceuticals, believe it or not. But let's see. So let's go, you guys. We're 8 likes away. 8 thumbs up. I need 8 thumbs up right now, and then I'm gonna get on a phone call with somebody. So who thinks we should do that? 8. Is it that hard to get 8 people? How long for you're a consistently profitable trader? I'd say about 2 or 3 years. Around the time I was like 17 years old. Started at 14. Real estate or stocks is the best to supplement income? Both. I think they both have equal opportunity. It all depends on what you work, what you do, all that stuff. What's considered as dumb stuff? Elaborate. What do you mean by that? Yo, what happened to the Forex kids? How come they left though, fam? How you gonna play me like that, fam?
Oh man, couple away. 47.
3 away, you guys. We just need 3 more likes and I'm gonna make a phone call. So that's simple as that. People on Instagram, go to the YouTube stream, like it so we can get on a phone call. Floated, and you agreed with me. I don't know why the hostility. Buying power is in your control. If you choose that 51 leverage, that's on you. No, man. You didn't. Don't try to. Wait, you guys like that reaction? It's like, come on, bro. It's not to say, that's what go watch my video when I interviewed Ocean Sky, that fucking scammer who got indicted. I said the same thing. I said, listen, man. He said, "Oh, it's on you. When you go, you sound like a fucking casino, but you're not telling." That's the thing. Forex is a casino, but when guys like you are going out there saying, "Oh, you could do this. Oh, you control it," you're telling people, "Hey, this is a job," but you're not telling them it's a fucking casino, and you're not disclosing it. When I walk into a casino, I know the fucking dude behind the desk who I'm handing my money to is trying to fuck me. I know the odds are not in my favor. So if you are going in like that, that's the problem. Because you could answer my floated exchange question, but you didn't answer how much money gets traded. How many hands are there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's fucking 4 people in this room. In Forex, that's exactly the size of this market essentially. It's like you got 4 people with money, $100, leveraging 100 to 1 or 50 to 1, like you'd say. And what are they doing? You're trading between 4 fucking people. That means only one of us is gonna win. It's insane. But you can't be, you can't tell people they're in a casino, but not tell them it's a fucking casino. So don't say, oh, you could control it. And that's what they say. That's what the fucking all these scammers say. That's what fucking Ocean Sky said. He's like, oh, these are adults. You guys should know. You control your leverage. Do you think I say that to people? I put them in a risky position and say, hey man, you totally could fucking die right now, but that's on you. That's on you, man.
But you're able to quit your 9-to-5 job.
But you're gonna unlock the fucking key to the universe. That's just bullshit. I'm sorry. And it's not hostility. It's just at this point, I'm telling you, I don't appreciate it when people are just fronting on people like this. It's just stupid. It is stupid. I heard in China people have 1,001. Man, they got that shit here. Forex equals Hunger Games. The odds be in your... Yes, exactly. But here's the thing. People are getting sold into the fucking Hunger Games, but they're not told it's the Hunger Games. And I would rather do the fucking Hunger Games than Forex. At least you get a reward. You get fucking immunity. Show us a recent trade that you closed. Show me a recent trade that you closed.
53 likes.
53 likes. All right, guys. So, on that note, who wants to get on a phone call? Now that we have 50, you hurt their feelings, Josh. That's why they left. Oh, man. Come on. Holla at your boy. What's the end? You did base part line their earnings on the 23rd. All right, guys. So, who wants to get on a phone call? What you guys got to do? Everybody, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Everybody else like, because then what we'll do the next. I'll do one phone call right now at 50 likes. The next phone call will be at 75. So, oh my God, I'm gonna fucking destroy this kid. Said you're not making any points, man. Do you understand the efficient market hypothesis? Every market has opportunities. Yes, the efficient market hypothesis you're trying to explain is from neoclassical economics. Do you realize how fucking old that is? that's saying that markets will balance and that you're essentially accepting inefficiencies. Suck my dick. Go to school, bro.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
But anyways, let's go, my friends. Who wants to get on a phone call? So wait, all I see is Steven Ferrarasi. Steven Ferrarasi Jr., you sex line. What are you talking about, man? Don't be frying on me like that, man. Motive Forex, why don't you do live videos and show you how to do it then? Because you can't do live videos. Nobody do live videos. That's it. They can't answer questions live like this. They can't show you trades live. I have my fucking trade, my screen on here. Man, that's the beauty of it, man. I don't even have to fucking, yo, what's this? CNET. See? So this is a pharmaceutical company ripping. They actually, can someone pull up the filing for this? Yeah, just go scan through the 10K. See when they report. CNAT. That's not what it is. Please tell me what it is then. Okay, Tim Sykes does. Tim Sykes does not, actually. Tim Sykes, this is what Tim Sykes, he never shows his screen. What he does is that he just shows you one window and then he shows you aftermarket. But you guys don't get me started on this, okay? Who wants to get on a phone call? Anybody? I think someone said I bought an SPX 7 April 236 at 220, sold for 390. That's crazy. I did the same exact thing. Okay, your turn. Man, anybody can fucking say shit. Who wants to get on a call? Oh, did you go on whale point? I don't know what this is. Will there be an email coming out talking about the group interview? Did you not get an invite to the group interview and already sent in your application? Send me an email. What are you here for then? I do abstract. I still don't know why this guy is so hostile. Because you're a Forex kid trying to come into a live stream with people who you clearly know the demographic of people in here, and you're trying to market your fucking Forex nonsense when literally, how much money have you made? Please answer that question. How much money have you made? Where do you own a house? Do you still live with your parents? What kind of car do you drive? Please, are these the valid questions? That's what I want to know. But you're selling iron condors. What do you think about that? It's not bad, honestly. If you have it's not a bad strategy at all. I'll do that sometimes. It's a little risky at times, but it's not bad. Simple as that. So Wayne Martin, bruh, stop being hostile. No, fuck that. I'm not being hostile. I'm being honest. Okay. I did not grow up in a family where, oh, we have to be nice to each other. Don't hurt someone. Actually, you know what? I am fucking hostile. Google me, man. Google me, baby. Come on. I had Benzes before you had braces. Okay? No one wants to Google you. Get the fuck out of here. You're done. Just on another trader's live stream. Nah, get the fuck. How come he's still in here? Thank you. The trade. I was just asking for one of your trades so we could see examples of one of your trades and possibly the reasoning behind it. Okay, yeah, I could do a video on that. Any idiot can make money in Forex, and every idiot will lose their money. I agree. So, who's going to get on the call? I think we're going to do Steve. All right, Steven, do you have me on Instagram or anything like that, or do you want to just post your phone number in here? It's up to you.
Okay, let's do this schmuck.
Huh?
I pulled up his YouTube account.
Oh yeah?
Dude, yeah, total.
Total. What do you mean? You said to Google him. He's probably famous or something, right?
I pulled up his channel, his YouTube channel.
How many subscribers does he have?
About 4,300.
So he's coming here to promote.
Pretty much.
Yep. I had Benzes for you had braces. Nah, Josh, I was gonna get started with the Forex guy. So do you mainly buy single leg trades? Yeah, most of the time. I'll DM you on Insta. All right, DM me on Insta right now, and I'll call you. And here's the thing too, when we do these phone calls, try to ask me a question. You know, I want to obviously talk to you guys, say what's up, but try to ask a question so that people could learn from it, and that we could all kind of, you know, get in tune with it. Yeah, Biofarm Catalyst. Brokers, but what I'm interested in is the fundamental part. Michael Huddleston does live analysis. You bring up good points. Make a shirt that says that. I'm confused, Alfredo. I didn't really get the full question, so I'm waiting for Steven. When you dropping the track, broski? I'm still working. I have the hook on it.
Everything that it pulls up is next year.
Really?
Yeah. June 30th is the next one next year for a phase 2B.
All right, I got Steven's number. Steven, I'm calling you right now. Anyone who sells Forex doesn't make money. I agree. Wait, let me call you, Brendan. Make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give you. So, like I said, Steven, I'm gonna.
Yeah, you're good.
Is your Insta the main trading fraternity? Yeah, that's the only one we have on Insta. But here's the best way to contact me. Really, is email. All right. Give me a second. Okay, Steven, I'm calling you.
Hello, how's it going?
Steven, is it Steven Fowler? Is that your? I'm assuming that's your last name.
No, it's Faris.
Damn it, I tried. What's going on, bud? How are you?
Nothing much. Good.
All right. So what question do you have for me or for the stream? Anything?
I guess I'll start out with a question about stocks. I've been trying to learn the stock market for a while now. Kind of tried learning it over the summer. Just haven't really got to hang with it. I guess, with college. I've been kind of busy, but like, do you recommend swing trading, day trading, or?
Definitely swing trading, especially like in college, because like if you even like look at my the screen I have up now, like, because if you're day trading, it's just very stressful, and quite frankly, like Warren Buffett even says himself, the stock market is the transfer of wealth from the impatient to the patient. That's where the day trading comes in. And like you look at like a lot of the plays I've made, like I made a lot of money in stocks throughout college simply by holding them. I bought stocks like Facebook. I bought stocks like even like Google and Apple before I went to college. By the time I graduated college, I had enough to buy a fucking house. You know what I'm saying? So those are kind of more longer term, but at the same time, even swing trades, everything from pharmaceutical companies to playing certain sectors, all of that stuff is just like you have a way better shot with swing trading just to maximize gains. It's less stressful, and if you're not trading every single day trying to make these quick flips, it's going to allow you to last longer in the market. And that's the big thing, because a lot of people, they'll burn all their money and lose all their money in their first month or two of trading, because that's what happens. Imagine if you're trying to make $100 a day day trading, you run the risk of losing $100 or more, right? You could blow up an account in a week. So big one is definitely swing trading. Like, if you definitely have that choice, if you're not in a position where you're like, just as long as you're not you don't sound like a degenerate. You sound like you sound like a smart kid. So it's not, you don't need to, unless you're like in a bind where you need to make money tomorrow. And if that was the case, I would say don't trade stocks, go sell drugs. No, but it's the same exact situation. So that's where you got to be careful on.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Then do you use technical analysis, or is it all really fundamentals you recommend? Really?
It's mostly fundamental and also, I guess, psychological. Because one part that a lot of people miss out is understanding that you have to understand how market participants act. You see that? So is there some technical stuff? As far as technicals, I use average volume lines and I use that to gauge demand on a stock. Simple as that. And then also kind of like looking at price action and stuff like that, but not in the sense of, really, I could observe technicals, and sometimes I use them in the psychological sense to see if I know a bunch of people are trading a technical and it's coming up, that could be an opportunity. But then even at the same time, that's a lot of risk, and if I see too much risk, I won't play it. But that's kind of the idea. Do I look at some technicals? Yes, can you? But I will never base a trade solely off of a technical indicator. I look at the market forces and market participants. Just like, because I relate it. I pretty much take my real estate strategy and how I trade stocks and all that all of that flows right through to every industry I'm in. So how I make my decisions in my businesses, my real estate purchases, my stocks, they're all the same. So I'm not going to use... Huh?
Supply and demand is a big factor of it.
Exactly. So supply and demand, understanding what rational actors are, rational economic actors, and how they're motivated to behave and all that. So I'm not going to use technical analysis when I go buy a home or flip it. I'm looking at what's my risk, what are the comparable prices, what is the demand in the area, what are they paying, supply, all that, and putting that together with the numbers to make my judgment.
Right, yeah. Just been failing a lot, realize that. I just want to try to figure everything out. Always want to get back up the next day, but yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta go slow. How old are you?
18.
Oh, nice. You go to? Are you in college right now?
Yeah, I'm a freshman in college.
Nice. What are you studying? What are you studying in college?
Electrical engineering.
Oh, fuck. So you're fucking probably way smarter than I'll ever be. That's that.
I would say that, but
Well, see.
it's nice.
Go ahead.
What were you gonna say?
I was saying, man, that's just a great step. You got that technical background. And I'll say, don't let that. It's a strength that you're smart enough to do that, and we'll see. If you last all 4 years, I'll tell you that much too. If you're in college, a lot of people say, you might not even use your electrical engineering degree ever, but at the same time, it shows you could stay committed to something for 4 years, and that's something you'll need to do. I want to see if you could do that, because most people I've known a couple people who've done electrical engineering, they never finish, ever. I don't know why. It's tough. So show me you could finish, show yourself you could finish, but at the same time, use it to an advantage that, if you could handle that type of workload, you could probably do a lot. You could do stocks, real estate, everything. You could probably do a lot with the workload wise, but then at the same time, don't fall for the traps of trying to find a formula like you would figure an engineering problem when it comes to money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, don't plug and chug with formulas. You want to make your own way, really.
Mm-hmm. Well, not only make the plan, but just be dynamic. Understand that when it comes to money, making money, stocks, there's so many things that are unaccounted for, and one thing, a gust of wind could fucking change shit.
Yeah. I know in college I saw one of your videos saying how it's all really about making connections. That was something really important to me.
Oh yeah, 100%. If you're at college, that's a time where I got to make a lot of connections, and just the simple fact you're gonna be around 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 kids every fucking day. That's an opportunity. To meet people, to start a business, to just grow in so many ways.
Yeah, that's a big factor of it right now, because one of my friends lives in the next town over from where the college is, and they were looking to get an app together for the town. It's kind of a depressed area, to try and bring it back up, and he found out I was an app developer, so I'm kind of getting that job.
Oh, wait, you develop apps?
Yeah.
Are you good at it? Have you ever done any? Have you brought any to market before?
Yeah, I have, I would say I have 3 on Android, and I have 1 on iOS.
No way. Do you do the user interface and all that too? Can you do that? Like, do you do the...
Yeah, I'm pretty big in coding, yeah.
So, but do you do like the graphic design? Like, so can you code it and make it look pretty?
Yeah.
Oh, what? That's crazy, bro.
It'll take me a while, but I want to make sure I deliver a product I'm happy with.
Ah, man, you might need that's good to know, bro. What, have you thought about, do you do any freelance work like that to make money, or how have you been making money for it?
No, I really, honestly haven't made any money off of it. This project I'm doing is really just community service and giving back. But
wait, you should...
What happened, I didn't do any freelance work. I didn't think I was, good enough, I would say. And I underestimated myself, but I stayed committed to it. I was happy about. Didn't give up throughout the entire process of the year. I just wanted to make sure I had a happy product I was happy with and people would enjoy.
Yeah, man, dude, that's tight. You should start, man. See, and that's the thing I tell people, especially like college kids, especially if you're trying to get into stocks, even real estate. You have a potential source of income right there. You know what I'm saying? You could simply start freelancing. Like you said, if you're not good enough, if you don't have the skills, it's not that you don't do it, but you just tell the people. You know what I'm saying? You could go put freelance, say, hey, I'm a newer app developer. I could do stuff a lot cheaper for you, and I could do it in the sense of making it smaller. You know? Like literally, you could say, I could handle the first 10, 20, 30, 40% of an app. I don't know how to do the server stuff. I can't finalize it, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? But people would still do it, and people would pay you, especially, you know, you say, hey, I'm not even going to charge a premium. So you could even use that, man, as a great opportunity. Great opportunity.
Yeah, it's nice also having stuff behind me saying I've done this, and this, instead of just being a new guy.
Exactly, dude. That's really awesome, man. We're gonna stay in touch, bro. That's cool. I get app ideas all the time, man. I get, you know, how many people try to get me to invest in their app, and I just have to fucking slam the door, and they're just retarded sometimes. But you are the valuable one, because I've had people come. I'd say in the last like 2 years, I probably got pitched like 15 or 20 apps, and only one of them, the guy who's asking for an investment was the fucking coder himself. Every single one of them got the fucking app made. I'm like, are you guys I don't invest in those, just because it's like the coders, man. You guys are the ones who are worth the money. I'm telling you.
Yo, Josh.
Yeah, I was watching Shark Tank last night on YouTube.
Where are you from?
I'm from New Jersey, but I go to school in Maine.
Okay, New Jersey, man. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we got people looking for an app developer. Look at, man. I can already get you a client right here, right now. Let's go. Let's make a deal. Shark Tank. No.
Yeah, but Mark Cuban was saying how he would never invest in an app. Really, it's just such a tough market.
Now it is, but you know that's the thing. If you're providing the service, man, you could make a lot of money, and you never really have to commit. And even then, if you ever find a good app idea, go make the app for them and get a chunk of equity too. You never know. You might hit the big one.
Yeah, thanks.
That's
Been a great time. I never thought I would come back to my dorm from class and end up being on a phone with like a millionaire, really.
It's funny how life works, right? But hey, man, keep it up. So I'll do this. I'm gonna get going because I'm about to probably wrap up the stream here, anyways. Because I have a video. We'll come back on later because we have a video launching at 1. So I gotta make sure everybody shares it, likes it. You better share that video now, man. All right, get it. All right, and then but we're gonna stay in touch though with that app stuff. If you have anything, email me. Email me some of the stuff you've done so I can take a look at it, and then I'll even put you in touch with one of the brothers who wanted to. He actually wants to get an app done. He was commenting on the chat, so we'll see, man. You can network with a lot of people. Use that skill to your advantage. That's really cool. At fucking 18 too.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time.
No, man, no problem. No problem. Good talking to you, Steven. I will talk to you very soon.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, bro. Peace.
Well, he wants that dude's number.
Waleed wants that dude's number?
Yeah.
Well,
Trying to get him some.
all right, Steven, you can send me an email. And if you want me to give Waleed your number, he has a really, really intimidating beard. So just that's the only thing you got to really be careful for. That's about it. But that's great, man. That's awesome, dude, to see someone who's 18 doing that. And hopefully you guys see like the point too with all of it. It's like I told him, he wants to get into stocks and real estate. I answered his question on stocks, but I'm like, yo, fuck that, man. Go focus on the fact that you could go make a couple G's here and there doing these apps, and then what do? You take that money now and then put that into stocks. Then you put in then you're able to ask the questions, you know? It's simple as that. It is simple as that. So that's what's up, man. I really like to see that. I'm very, very astonished that you could even do that at that young of an age. So that's good to see. So this is what we're going to do, though. I'm going to get off here because we have a video releasing. I'm releasing a prank video in 5 minutes. You guys will get to see Max over. Max, raise your hand so that they can see you. There you go. He's the one in the back corner. He just got to the house, so we thought we would prank him. And it was a really good prank. It actually just fell into my lap. So that's going to come out in 5 minutes. Everybody, if you guys want me to get back on, I need everybody to watch that video in its entirety. And I need everybody to share it on their social media. If you guys do that, if I could see like 10, 15 shares on that video by the time because I want to go eat lunch. What do you guys want to eat? You want to eat Chick-fil-A? You want some tacos? Those.
Still haven't had Chick-fil-A.
What? Oh my God! What? Okay, yeah, Friday Chick-fil-A. That's it. We doing it. All right, we're gonna get these guys Chick-fil-A. I'm gonna head off here. Make sure you guys have all subscribed. Like, give this video a thumbs up too before. Give the video, right when it comes out, give the prank video a thumbs up. It's gonna come out in 5 minutes. Just go on the YouTube page and watch it. It's really, really funny. You guys will see it. Amrish is quiet. Shout out to Amrish. Say something, Amrish.
Nothing to say.
Say
I
it.
told them I'm from India.
Talk more. Come here. Come talk to him. Here, can you give him an ad? Be like, can you guys all watch the prank video, please, and share it and like it? Say that to him. Go come into the mic.
Oh my god.
Say, tell them subscribe, like the photograph.
Subscribe, like the photograph, and watch more videos on our YouTube channel. Goodbye.
He doesn't talk like that. Talk normally. Let them hear you. Actually, you guys can watch the videos with him, man. You guys hear this guy? What a punk. All right, guys. So watch that video. Stay in school. We'll see y'all soon.
Yeah.
Subscribe.